people coincide dating and talking or getting to know someone as one thing.
Just think of that when in reality, like the only thing that I owe you outside of being married is, to be honest, is really nothing at all. Like until I am married to you. You changed my life. You came and you made me smile. You came and you brightened my whole life.
Okay, so we're gonna go to, I wanna say this will be like the last one, but we can add one more, I don't know. It says a gentleman whose name is Jackson is in the talking phase with a lady whose name is Janet. And they're like at a reasonable like age for each other. So they've been talking for about 3 months, and somehow she finds out that he's talking to another lady. The original lady, Janet, gets upset, says some regretful things to him, and blocks him on all social media as well as his phone number. A few weeks pass by, they run into each other, they kick it off well, and she operates out of grace and gives him another chance. They start talking again, and turns out he's dating other ladies during this time. Sense or nonsense, Jackson is in the wrong because he should not have let her on.
It depends. To me, it depends.
It depends. How so?
Because I feel as people coincide dating and talking or getting to know someone as one thing. Well, that's
sure.
Two separate entities within itself.
For sure.
I can talk to you, get to know you. We can go out to eat. We can go to main event. We can do all these activities. And I'm just trying to get to know you as a person. I'm just saying, I'm trying to get to know you as a person. That doesn't mean I'm trying to date you, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, how can you really find your soulmate, or how can you find somebody you're going to be open, transparent with, and want to spend the rest of your life with if you don't get to know people first, then date them? Because if that's the case, it's going to take you a cycle of years trying to find somebody if you can just talk to one person at a time, if quote unquote, that's what you want to call it. But I think those are two different entities within itself. Talking and dating aren't the same thing. So I don't think he was in the wrong for just trying to get to know her. Now, he could have been a little bit more cautious and said, hey, I am getting to know people during this phase of my life or this season of my life. I'm trying to get to know people. So he could have told her that up front. But that doesn't mean that he's still not, his intentions are any less just because he's also getting to know other people.
But see, the fact that they were, what's up?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so the fact that they were talking for 3 months, and I think there gets to be a certain point where the talking phase is not even necessary the older you get, because you know what you want, like you said, Austin. But for 3 months, do you feel like that's even, like there's a rule saying like after 3 months we're officially this, or do you think that time period kind of messed up with her mind?
I think it's based upon the level of communication. Like, you can get to know somebody as quick as a week, as quick as 2 weeks. You can put whatever time frame you want to put it on. But I think that at least from me speaking as a man, if I'm trying to date you, that means more than likely I'm trying to marry you. So I want, like, not as much as reassurance, but I want clarity. If I really want to get to know you, I mean, it might take longer than 3 months, you know? If I'm trying to get to know you, spiritually, emotionally, and everything else. So it's like, for that to happen, I think people put time frames in their head of how things are supposed to work. I think that's just culturally. But, I mean, who is there to say? Like, I have a homegirl who she got her boyfriend she's with now, and they've only talked for about 2 to 3 months, and then they started dating. I have some people, like my stepsister, who talked to her husband for 2 years, and then they started dating after that, and then got married. But this all depends on the level of communication. Some people, they aren't, a lot of people have walls built up. You don't really get to know the real deal until something happened. You know what I'm saying? So you might be thinking you dating somebody, but you don't even know who the real person you date. So, I mean, I think it takes the level of communication and transparency throughout time that will display that. But I don't think he's in the wrong just because he's trying to get to know the woman, and it just so happened to be it's 3 months now. I think that's where he has to explain his intention of, like, why is it that way?
So it's okay to talk to multiple people at one time or date multiple people at one time
Get to know.
Wait, but listen.
You tried to trap my man.
No. Because look. It said they kick it off well, and she operates out of grace, as in she forgave him and did not use anything from the past and gives him another chance. Okay. They start talking again, and he's dating other people. That's the big one that I'm just like, is it okay to talk and date other people, or no? Or still communication? Because honestly, I feel like homegirl let herself on, like you said. But the thing is also, people are emotionally involved. And as humans, I feel like we have to take steps or take precautions to know that, I'm not going to lie, like high key, these are souls that are being messed with. People don't want to look at it that deep, but high key, that's what it is. So, I don't know.
I think, well, one, she was dramatic for doing the whole block.
Yeah.
So,
but that's, hold on. Why?
Very dramatic.
Why?
Because that in itself shows the insecurity in you as a woman. And maybe you have this like entitlement to where you feel as though when you show interest into a guy,
for sure,
that he's only supposed to be showing interest into you. To your point, that's just not how people build. You know, you can't set that expectation in a man, just like I can't set it in a woman. And just like what Austin was talking about from communication, everybody has created this superficial definition of like talking and dating and, you know, the logistics of that, when in reality, you know, like the only thing that I owe you outside of being married is, to be honest, is really nothing at all. Like until I am married to you, you know, everything that I do as an individual, you know.
So even when y'all are engaged, that you don't.
Yeah, if you're engaged,
well, that's okay for sure. But even looking at engagement, like that is the true like. I am going to like apply like my full self. Like when I think of me as a husband, like an engagement from that point up until the point that we make the covenant, like that is me truly in my fullest form.
So
you know, like,
so while y'all are dating or courting, you're not in your full form.
So this is just for me. I feel as though there has to be certain things that I have to not necessarily keep from you, but like when I think about my ambitions and my desires and my goals, like I have to do that my due diligence and give. Honestly, that has to be my first priority before you, always, until I'm married to you.
For sure.
Because then at that point, we come together, and then your ambitions, your desires, you know,
kind
are
of
now part of my ambitions and my desires.
I
think that's where the superficial definitions come from, because women, much like men will too, like, I'm demanding you to, you know, have all of these things together and to do this, and that while we talk and while we date. And that's where it throws stuff off. And now we need to overly communicate. Like, we need to set the foundation clear and straight. Like, this is what I expect when I'm showing interest into a man. And then let's have that deep level of conversation, because if we don't, that's how you end up sad. Now you hurt because you set a different expectation than what I did, because I could be thinking something completely different for talking and dating.
So when does somebody bring that conversation up to know the difference between like, or what they're doing mutually?
I think you can also lose yourself too. Like if you're dating and you focus your time, your energy, everything into that one person, like you're losing your ambition. You're losing your self-identity. So I feel like that also has to be a factor played in this as well. So I think most women think that, okay, I'm the woman, you need to come after me, this is how it's supposed to be, but both parties are valuable, right? So just as much as a woman is so valuable as a man is as valuable as a woman. We both need each other to create each other whole. So I think that also has to come to a level of understanding as well. You know, people think that, but culturally, it's given that man have to just chase women and the woman has to just submit to him.
Chase or pursue.
But it has to be a cohesive thing that
I'm really worried about where this is going.
Each other to get to know each other as one person, and then they come.
Okay, perfect. Because you lost me, but I got you now. Yeah.
That's real, for real. So you got to communicate.
But you're also whole before you're together.
Right.
Okay.
And that's the problem that
I want you to elaborate on that, because Austin said, you know, we come one person, then we're whole. I think that's a misconception. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? What does that mean to be whole before? Or while you're, I guess, working on everything? Because we're not completely where we want to be right now.
Yeah, I think it's an identity thing. I think most people look for relationships to fill the voids in themselves. And that's I feel like the main problem in relationships is that you're asking your significant other to fill in these gaps that you have in yourself. And really, that's your responsibility. Like, that's really between you and God.
For sure.
And really, the source that you're asking for of another person should be what you're asking for from God. And I think that's where, like, the puzzle piece of a relationship, everything, somebody always feels like they're giving more than what they're receiving. And so then you find yourself with this imbalance. And now you mad, now you arguing because you feel like, again, expectations aren't met, standards aren't met, because nothing was communicated between the two. So
and you're wanting,
that's where I think the concept of figuring out yourself before, like, truly wanting to, like, pursue somebody in a relationship to marriage is so critical. Like, people can overlook that and think that it's not important, but you really do, because it'll show up. If it don't show up in the first year, it'll show up years, down the line, because you didn't take the time to figure out you. So that's my thought.